So just raise your hand. I'll take a quick look at your answer and stamp you if you are on the right track. Yes, and I want you to find one more thing, okay? Look in that description again and find one more cause for that erosion. Read carefully. The laminated pictures on your table, those are all of Providence Canyon, but don't they look a lot like the Grand Canyon? You can see why they call it the mini.
Except for the tree. Providence Canyon has a lot of trees.
What else? A couple other things that Hear that. Good. It's a good Venn diagram. Yeah. All right, we give you guys one more minute. Did you find it? Good. Now the Grand Canyon, okay, now I want you to add one more here. We've already learned about what made the Grand Canyon. Remember, we spent lots of days with that Grand Canyon magazine. What did we say carved that out over millions of years? Do you remember? Okay, let's share the answers to this. So thinking about the Grand Canyon and all that we've learned about the Grand Canyon, what was the major agent of erosion that carved that out?
The water from the Colorado River.
That's right. So running water from the Colorado River. You know, we talked about wind erosion there too. That makes the canyon wider, but this is what made it so deep over millions of years. Okay? So millions of years. Okay, and we can also add wind. Providence Canyon, what did you learn? What mainly carved that out?
Flash floods.
Flash floods. Now, even before the flash floods, that definitely washed the sediment away every time it flooded. What happened before the flash floods? Yes, Lily?
The power of the rushing water.
Okay. And this is rushing water, right? Floods have rushing water. So I'm saying before the rushing water, what happened that made this land so susceptible to the soil being washed away? Lisa?
They plowed it so they could plant crops.
Good. And who plowed it?
Farmers.
Who plowed it? Who does all the plowing for crops? Farmers, right? Now, does this sound familiar? What does it remind you of?
The Dust Bowl.
The Dust Bowl, that's right. And so farmers, now we have some biological erosion. Farmers cleared this land, plowed it, and this was back when? A couple hundred years. So there's another comparison here. Instead of millions of years, we're talking hundreds of years. Okay? People did not erode the Grand Canyon. but people were definitely a part of eroding this Providence Canyon, because if they would not have clear-cutted that forest, then so much erosion probably would not have taken place whenever there was flooding and heavy rain. Okay? All right, now, what do they have in common? What do they have in common? Yeah. They both are eroded by water. Not now. Now's not a good time. You can use one of my personal sharpeners up here. It's a lot quieter. So anyway, water is a major force in both of these examples, right? Anything else that you would put in the middle?
Wind.
Wind?
And sometimes tree roots.
Okay. Well, tree roots would definitely help erosion, right?
The Grand Canyon was actually it was weathered by people, and like we carried because it's such a famous place to go. I bet we our shoes picked up the sidewalk and carried
Okay. So do you think there's some biological weathering here now? Sure, with all the hiking trails that are in there now. But forming the depth of that canyon was mainly by the river. Okay, but now people are eroding it with their path. Okay?
Both canyons.
Yeah, they're both canyons. That's the landform that they both are. Okay, so if you look at our essential question today, how has Providence Canyon changed over the years? So we're really going to get a little in-depth study of Providence Canyon. Now I realize the activity that you're going to be doing today with Providence Canyon, I don't want you to get frustrated because you probably won't finish it today, especially because we had that assembly this morning and we don't have a full class period, but we are definitely going to get started on it and then we will finish it on Monday, okay?
Yeah.
So for today, you are going to be in groups, different groups than what you're sitting at today. So I am going to be moving you around and I want you to be ready to get up and move your stuff to a different location today. I also want to let you know that the activity you're going to be doing involves math, because you are going to be doing some calculations about erosional rates. Okay? Yes.
Are these permanent changes?
No, they're not. They're just for this activity. Okay? So, I also have at your tables some calculators. And then some of you will be using websites on my computer back there. You can use homework now. There's Providence Canyon links. Okay, so I'm going to tell you where you're going to be sitting. I need Elizabeth and Zane and Katie K and Miriam and Rhea and Reagan. Now I realize that's 6 of you. So pick a table with 4 and then maybe 2 can go on either end. So which table would you guys like to meet at?
Okay, let's do this.
Okay, and everybody take one of those. Okay, and I would put your binders on the floor and just remove everything except, you don't even need your science notebooks. We are not going to be gluing these into our interactive notebooks just yet because we're not going to finish it today. I'm actually going to be collecting it and seeing how far you got and then give it back to you on Monday. So don't worry about gluing anything in today. Okay? All right, and the next group. Let's see here. I need Emily, Alexandra, Lindley, and Clay. You're going to meet over at Lindley's group back there. So you guys meet over there. And you may get started. What's your name at the top? You may get started. Okay, the next group. Katie Patillo, Louisa, Davis, and Jason. You're going to be right up here.
Welcome to the team.
Go.
Oh,
All right. Okay, the rest of you can either meet there or there, it doesn't really matter. Okay, everybody take one, put your name on it, and put your binders and everything else on the floor.
Now that I know
Okay, before you all get really into this, this is something that you can work on together. That's why I have you sitting in a group like this. I know that this group is kind of big. If you would rather do like 3 and 3, you could do that, but it might be better to have you all together.
What if I could come over here?
No, that's their group though.
3 and 3 guys.
And when you get into the math part of it, just use the calculators. And if there's one that like you guys are really stuck on and you have really tried to work through it with your group, circle it, okay? And I'll be looking at those when I collect them. And I will also be walking around your groups to help you out with that, okay? But be working together. Now, if somebody's really not working with the group or not contributing or doing their part, I do have some other tables where you can sit by yourself and just work by yourself. But it is a lot better if you can work as a group, okay? All right, you may get started and just raise your hands when you need some assistance. All right. You start down here.
Reading here, so.
Read it in your head, and you'll be reading it again out loud, okay?
Go there, back there.
Shut up, go right now. Okay. What do you think causes hydrogen to the Earth's surface?
Providence Canyon information sheet. That's the solution here. That's the information.
You shall not be saying.
Whoa.
What do you think causes hydrogen?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think causes hydrogen?
That's easy.
So this is the before picture. Growing, that's what Providence Canyon looks like. Okay? And this is today's Providence. And so one of the things you're going to be doing is comparing these.
We are working.
Please don't notice the dates on here. So this is Providence Canyon 1937. And then this is Providence Canyon today. And this shows you Providence Canyon from 1937. All right, and then this is Providence Canyon today. Okay, so when you get to number 2, you're going to have to compare how they look.
Between 18 and 19, erosion about 8 soil sediment. How many years is that? Actually, no, there's no there is discovered how many years.